Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sailor Agenda, and this is my Let's Play of Rule the Waves 3 as Great Britain. In the last episode, we finished up our class of treaty battleships, designed and just laid down a new series of light cruisers with twin turrets, and we're pretty much continuing to tick along under this treaty system, just trying to figure out where we can fit in carriers and maybe how we can start a war to get out of this treaty. Public Avenger, dive bomber. We don't have dive bombers. We don't have carriers either. They have carriers. Okay, this is their treaty battleship. It's fast, is the thing. But it doesn't have as much firepower or belt armor as us. A lot of deck armor, though. So it's not bad. No secondary directors on CLs. Oh, well, we just... oh, Spain's crushed the rebels. Oh. Well, we've lost Shanghai. That's a bit awkward. This is probably my fault. Really. But at least we still have the Liaotong Peninsula. I refitted all the colonial cruisers at the same time, and it was probably a bad idea. In my defense, it would have been way too much clicking to rebuild them at separate times. Yeah. Okay, everyone is neglecting their crews to focus on the Olympics and or opera. Advanced alloying, better armor quality. New medium bomber. It is radically better than the old one. Even though I don't really use them, I guess we'll buy it. Cheap enough. Agent's been caught in Japan. A hero of the nation. Fixed zone AA barrage, better heavy AA. None of our ships have heavy AA, but never mind it. Or actually, dual purpose counts as heavy AA, right? So we do. A new version of the Tempest with more speed, more range, a lot more speed and range, and toughness. Bolton Paul is really delivering on upgrades for their aircraft, I have to say. I'm very pleased. For both of their torpedo bombers, even though we're only using one of them, I think, but for whatever reason, I think it's the one that I don't really want to be using, but whatever. Italian treaty battlecruiser. My god, they're cheating hard on this one. 1,800 tons over the limit. Still only 12-inch guns, though. Now, interestingly, nobody has really done 13-inch guns on their treaty ships. Which, I mean, neither did I. I did 12-inch, but that's because my 13-inch are particularly terrible. I would have expected the AI to go for 13-inch on some of them. Okay, improved landing guidance systems, less risk of landing accidents. They do? Well, that's problematic. Oh, they sure do. Huh. Okay. Tensions with the USA are now 11. And apparently they plan on war with us in the next 6 months. I will respond to this by laying down another 6 Bristol-class cruisers. Good news is I have a spare battleship in my pocket ready to commission as soon as the war starts, because I miscalculated something to do with the treaty tonnage, so we can't commission her right now, but we will just as soon as we're at war. Germany is considering a naval rearmament program. Well, they're no threat to us, surely. You know, the treaty lasted longer than I expected, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna collapse soon. The good news for me is that, okay, I built 4 treaty battleships, which is some wasted money, but a lot of the AI have hamstrung themselves even worse than that. The Russians have built a treaty battleship with only 6 12-inch guns. Don't ask why. At least the American treaty battleships actually have 8 12-inch guns. My god, they decommissioned another one of their 14-inch battleships. Why, if you're planning to go to war with me in the next 6 months, are you decommissioning all of your best battleships, USA? They don't even have a better gun line than me now. Because now they only have, well, 6, and they're building several more that are due soon, so they'll have 9, but I have 9 battleships also. And I now have one more 14-inch battleship than they do. Okay. We'll just accept that. Yeah. The AI is just... I'm pretty sure... Well, a lot of these battleships are only like 10 years old, though, so I don't know why they're doing it. Usually once they hit like 20 years old, the AI will just decommission them, basically regardless of circumstances, because it just assumes they're too obsolete to keep. But these are too young for that, so I don't really know why they're doing it. It's just something to do with their treaty optimization logic. Doing this for eternity feels like cheating. I wonder if the real optimal thing for a treaty is to just build a bunch of battleships. Could I build a battleship that's egregiously in violation of the treaty and just, like, could I lay this down? No. Okay. But I could build, like, 10 treaty battleships and be hugely in violation of the tonnage limit and just have them not technically finished for all eternity. And then as soon as I go to war, finish them all. That would be allowed under the game rules, I think. It's just they cost as if they're mothballed, basically. They cost the same as if they were mothballed, so... maybe the same as if they were in reserve, but... I think I could do that if I really wanted. Okay, anyway. Building all these new light cruisers. Great. Next thing, well, we're about to go to war with the USA, so I don't want to make anything else too radical, but... Next thing I think is we're going to replace these 3 Indomitables with, like... maybe 2 new battlecruisers, and maybe even just 1 new battlecruiser, and a couple of carriers. That would give me, let's see here. These Indomitables are each 28,100 tons. So that's 84,300 tons. Subtract 900, because I need to be able to actually commission my existing treaty battleship that's just sitting here. It's just basically you leave the ship sitting in port, floating, but uncrewed and with some preservation applied to it, like putting the guns under wraps and such, but they call it mothballs because they gather mothballs. And an actual mothball is like a... I think literal moths leave them in clothes that you leave hanging in a closet for too long or something. Oh no, you put them in your clothes on purpose. They're like a pesticide against moths. Interesting. I see. Yeah, well, in ships, it means ships that are in, like, deep long-term reserve. Yeah. Okay, so... what was I just doing the math on? I would have 83,400 tons to work with. Which, I mean, is just... it's enough for... 2 treaty carriers and a, yeah, something like that, yeah. It's enough for 2 carriers and a new battlecruiser easily under the treaty. I guess the question is, can I build a better battlecruiser than this under a 25,000 ton treaty limit? Or should I even try, considering that we might be at war anytime momentarily? Okay, 8 12s with 4 twin turrets, 11-inch belt, 2.5-inch deck, 27 knots. Let's just see, for theoretical purposes, what we could build on 25,000 ton limit. We could get 812s. I would really want this as a minimum secondary armament, I think. And like, what did I just say the belt on this was? 11 inch with a 2.5 inch deck? Okay. So if I was willing to settle still for an 11 inch belt, and like a 3 inch deck is probably minimum now. Torpedo defense, okay, we can't be only 20, we really probably want 30 knots. That's gonna be impossible. Gotcha. Okay. So this is what we'd want. This, however, will require a 30,000 ton displacement, so that's not going to happen. Oh. Well, what if I do this? It's still going to require like 27,000 tons at least, but... yeah. So that's 2,500 tons more than we can manage. So what do we cut down on to get us where we need to be? We can cut a couple of secondaries. That's not even close, but that's 500 tons. We can cut a knot. That's actually over 1,000 tons. That's pretty good. If I were to cut one more knot of speed, where would that put us? Certainly 25,000 tons. Gotta get a little more belt. A little bit. 12 inch is kind of pushing it, but I sort of could. Let me reweigh this AA. I don't like that arrangement of it. Okay. This is kind of acceptable to me. Apparently this ship is immune from 9,000 up to 21,000 yards against his own guns, which is crazy, actually. It's a massive immunity zone. Yeah. Alright. Let's design this then. I think this will be workable. And then with the other 50,000 tons, we're going to need a couple of fleet carriers. It's crazy that we don't have any in 1929, but treaty problems, obviously. Now, all of these designs might be thrown in the garbage in like a turn if the US declares war on me, but let's see here. Do I still have the minimum gun requirement on these, or can I get rid of all these? Yeah, it needs 8 by 6 inch guns. Fine. Can I at least put them in? I think they have to be casemated, don't they? Can I put real turrets on? Like... just literally putting... okay, no, but I can put double turrets on. And that's technically valid, it's just stupid. Okay, so... yeah. That works, okay. And then a bunch of those, yeah. Secondaries. Hey, give me an extra director. Okay, maximum torpedo defense. That costs some tonnage. 66 aircraft we're fitting on. That's not bad. Okay. 2-inch belt. Fine. 1-inch deck. How about flight deck? Yeah. That's expensive. Weight-wise, I mean. Okay, well, it's 25,000 tons. Okay, that actually works, though. Hold on. Okay. Puts us over the top side limit still if we go for that, yes. Okay. 30 knots. Oil turbines. Don't bother. If we get hit in the engines, we're just gonna die anyway. 30 knots, 2-inch belt, 1-inch deck. Maximum torpedo defense that I have. Minimum turrets that I'm allowed to get away with. Dual purpose secondaries. I'd like 5-inch secondaries too, but I think that I can't make them dual purpose yet, so don't. Flight 66 aircraft, huh? Well, you just do 68 with the remaining weight. Or I could just build the whole ship for slightly cheaper. I don't know, is there anything else I can do with the tonnage? No. Spare fire control position, maybe? Though that's really pointless on a carrier, so probably not. Well, I could try to squeeze more armor in, but I don't think that's gonna fly. We could almost get an extra half-inch deck, actually. That probably would be worth it. Even if it does mean we're slightly overweight, but... Oh. Oh, 23,200 is our limit currently. Interesting. Didn't realize that. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have to work with then. In that case... No flight deck armor. Sad. No. Definitely no flight deck armor whatsoever. Well... How many aircraft would I have to cut out in order to fit flight deck armor? Six? That's kind of worth it. Okay. 30 knots, 2-inch belt, 1-inch deck, 1-inch flight deck. Flight deck is equipped. Catapults, we don't have catapults. Do we have catapults? I don't know if I have catapults or not. No. Okay. So no catapults. 60 aircraft. Flight deck armor. Guns. Dual purpose. Okay. This is pretty workable. Oh. Let's develop that design. And both of those will just get thrown out if the US declares war on me next turn. But we're working up our destroyers, 5-inch dual-purpose mounting, motor landing craft. Spain has crushed more rebels, good for them. They are great at that. Apparently. Oh, and tension with the US has dropped back below the critical point. Interesting. I don't know if they're planning war with us in 6 months is means the actually will declare war, or if it just increases tensions a bunch. We'll find out shortly, I guess. Russia and Austria-Hungary's alliance has expired. The Russians are building a cruiser. It sucks compared to my new cruisers, so take that, Russia. Germany is scrapping destroyers to comply with the treaty. I think the treaty is saving us from tensions with the USA. Yeah. We just fell off of the brink of war again. This might be a long, peaceful treaty period, which is something I've not had really in a Rule the Waves game before, so... I mean, we'll see. We're still awfully close to war with several people, but... Flexible station keeping, looser division formations, reduced enemy accuracy. Spy from Germany? Well, I don't really want to fight Germany again. I'm going to handle that quietly. Supermarine has developed a torpedo bomber. It's much slower and much shorter ranged than both of my existing torpedo bomber designs, so I'm going to go with no Supermarine. Well, you know what? We're not at war, so let's lay down. Oh, Okay, I see the problem. Alright, hold on. See, the annoying thing is that Collingwood is building, technically. Or Empress of India is, that is. But there's such a long lead time on these. Well, let's lay down. I can't even lay down one of these, can I? Nope. Not while I'm still building the Bristols. Ah, that's what limits it. That is what limits me from doing this fully. Although I could still have 5 sitting there if I wasn't building anything else, so still a bit cheeky. Alright, what do I want to do then? Let's, how many battle cruisers does everybody have? The US is the scariest. They have 5. 15, 14, 15, and 14-inch guns, respectively, so honestly, they're all bigger and scarier than Indomitable anyway. Let's go ahead and just scrap an Indomitable. And that should let me immediately complete Collingwood. And then, or Empress of India, that is. And then I can lay down 2 carriers, probably. Yeah. Thanks, Juno. Right, a month delay. Because of the better fire control. Okay, Empress of India is finally commissioned. Can I squeeze 2 carriers in here without, Okay, where are we? We're at 93,000 building. I think I still can only build 1 ship, so... Let's start with a carrier. Let's get a carrier building, and, as soon as all these light cruisers are finished, then we'll be able to lay down the other 2 that I want to lay down. More docks, because I have too much money. Strong arms industry is the foundation for strong navy. Weight savings for torpedo mounts. Working on amphibious tractors. Japanese light carrier. Well, it's a lot better than my light carrier. New version of the Short Hornet. Faster, longer ranged, tougher, less maneuverable. I'll take it. Oh. Well. Oh my god, they have 3 carriers in service? That's a problem. Yeah, it's 1930. I'll still take my chances. You know what, USA? This means war. Sorry. Aviation pundits are ecstatic about the capabilities of modern medium bombers. Are we at war? Yep. At last, the disarmament treaty is cancelled. Well, that changes things. I'll still build Courageous because I don't think it's that bad, but we're going to need to lay down a much bigger replacement battlecruiser than was previously planned. Alright, let's get things in order here. You guys are 1st Battle Division. Vengeance is our 2nd Battle Division. Collingwood's our 3rd Battle Division. 1st and 2nd Battle Cruiser Divisions, sure. 1st, 2nd, 3rd Heavy Cruiser Divisions. 1st, 2nd, 3rd Light Cruiser Divisions. Colonial Cruiser Divisions. Well, there's probably too many of these, huh? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even tell. Hold on. How many? Well, there's only 3 in that one, and 1 in that one. Okay. You join 2nd Colonial Cruiser Division. The last 6 of you can be 3rd Colonial Cruiser Division. Oh, no, it can only be 5, that's right. Okay, then you 3. 4th, you 3 can be 3rd. Okay. I think that's all laid out correctly. You are my Soul Light Carrier. And that's where we're at. And we're building 12 new light cruisers, which will all be finished within a year. So that's nice. I will start that immediately. Great. Our carrier won't be finished for 20 months, which is a problem. So the main theaters of war will be the Caribbean and the East Coast. We had better, since we didn't have much carrier support, we had better immediately get building an airbase at St. John and St. John's, right? Both. Or no, not at St. John's. That's up here. At Halifax. No. How do I unbuild this airbase? Okay, well, build one at Halifax. And not at Bermuda. Don't bother with that. Probably in the Caribbean. I don't know where it would be worth bothering. Probably at, like, Nassau and Kingston. Which are here and here. Okay, I don't really want this one at St. John's. Is it listed here yet? Yes, let's, no. Okay. So we're gonna build 4 new air bases so we can have some control of that situation. We are going to shift pretty much the cream of the fleet over here. The US currently has 8 battleships in service with 1 more building. That being said, they've, for some reason, only kept 3 of their 14-inch battleships, which are very, very impressive, yes. But I have 4 14-inch battleships with 2 less guns each, so it about evens out. And then they have all these Michigans, which are very impressive too. Well, they're very good treaty battleships. The Minnesota's a little faster, but less good as battleships, which I can match with my Collingwoods and Vengeances, so we can pretty much match their battle line. We can't quite match their battle cruiser line. On the other hand, most of their stuff is less armored than ours, at least. And they've only got 5. So the real question is, how much can I base out of the East Coast here? Not that much, I don't think. 170. That's a good quantity, but we have 371 sitting at home here. So let's see, what can we send? I suppose, for certain, the 4 Collingwoods, the 4 Rodneys, all 3 New Zealands. our one light carrier. At least for all the crises. Like 8 of the conquests. And then all of the newest destroyers. This is going to be too much. This is going to put us over 170. Well, I'm going to take... Oh, that's 258. Okay. Good, it does tell us. I forgot. Okay, so the goldfinches are older. Let's send... You know, if we're going to take this many... Okay, let's send... these back. Send a couple of creases back. I don't think there's any choice to not bring this many capital ships. We're going to need this many to fight any fleet action. Let's just risk being a little over base capacity for a little while. Some of it might be split into the Mediterranean soon anyway. But that's handy. Like, that would fix the situation. It's just a lot. Let's do it. Let's just upgrade Halifax. It'll take 2 years, but it'll pretty much rectify most of the discrepancy. Okay. And then, yeah, we're going to finish this. We might even build a sister ship to this, too, because I don't think it's a bad design at all. The new battle cruiser, we are still going to build one to replace the remaining 2 Indomitables, and we'll just go down to 4 battle cruisers. But the remaining battle cruiser will be like a 35,000 tonner or something. The design we just made is going to be thrown out straight away. And honestly, it's a good thing our cruisers are still mostly in good shape, because, I mean, we're going to build more destroyers, and then it's going to be a lot of capital ships once the war's over. Because there was a long period with not a lot of capital ships there. Anyway, I'm going to call it there for today. Oh, and it's just 1930, so, oh, crikey. I've reached 1930, the 1920 special hasn't gone up yet. It'll go up today. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all have a nice evening. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.